Hello one, hello all. Caspa in the flesh, and it's time for a review of Lucky, Money, Sex, Drugs. Chicago's own Lucky, he is back with his second studio album, with the first being Flawless Like Me, which I thought was anything but. I felt like lyrically he had nothing to offer. I felt like his sleepy, comatose flows left a lot to be desired. I felt his production choices were immensely underwhelming. And for some reason, people seem to like this guy. A lot. And honestly, I mean, if you need something to zone out to, I guess something to throw on and just have it as like some psychedelic, sleepy background music, then I get it. But as far as trying to say like this is competing with Cardi, with Die Lit, or maybe even that Uzi album that came out, no. Like, and the thing is, I've seen people, and I shit you not, put Lucky in their top 10. I'm like, why? I mean, I enjoy sleeping as much as the next guy, but I have tea for that. Like, whenever I listen, it's just like, I kind of just zone him out and forget he's there to a point where I'm just mindlessly bobbing my head. I mean, then I could see the appeal that way, but where's the fun in that? Like, when I listen to music, I want something I could feel. I don't want to feel like I'm just listening to something and it's basically, it's like ordering a full course meal and you took one bite out of the main dish. And after that first bite, you went for the side dish and stuck to that side dish the entire meal. Because the main course is so forgettable and so bland, you forgot you even took your first bite. That's what a Lucky album is like. But the mashed potatoes on here, and the mashed potatoes being the production, has definitely stepped up. I will give it that. Mostly on the track Tunevert, with these mafioso style plucked guitar strings that are plucked so hard it actually sounds like they're about to break, like right when they're being strummed. Almost creating like a hard tremolo. And these melodic marching vocal samples. And these glistening psychedelic strings just create like a feel of euphoria, and I actually dig that. I'm like, okay, maybe this Lucky album is onto something, because I did not listen to the singles going into this, so maybe there's hope on this one. And there's Super Ski, which has like this rumbling bass, and you could actually hear the synth horns on here, and when you hear them, they are so regal, they are so rich, and the bright keys are great. They really pop, they actually add to the production. It sounds like something Dipset would have gone to back in the 2000s. And I must say, Lucky actually has some presence here. But unfortunately, the incoherent vocals do come in again and again to a point where you feel like you're having vocal deja vu. And the beat can only carry for so long, and the fire only burns for such a short amount of time on here, vocally. On the next track, we do get the lethargic flows. Once again, the beat sounds super thin. What the hell happened? Like, seriously, did the engineer like hear Lucky and all of a sudden say, you know what? I'm good. And just walk out of the studio? Like, what happened? However, to be fair, I do dig a little some of the production on the tracks coming up, but Lucky's bars just sound like really weak executed freestyles. Like he could barely finish a rhyme, let alone a thought, before the track even ends. It just sounds like he just got on the mic, started spitting, and didn't even sound like he was with it in the first place, and just gives up half through a track. And his bars are just mindless. And not mindless in like an old school Lil Pump sense. Mindless as in there was no thought that went into this, let alone emotion that went into this. And honestly, due to production stepping up, this could have been a decent album. May have been a great album. I could be stretching it there, but it is absolutely derailed by how empty and devoid everything you would want from a rapper is from Lucky on here. Oh, you wanted to enjoy this Lucky album? Well, I guess you had a luck. Aren't you clever? But I must say, I do dig the moody nocturnal guitar line and the soulful synth bits and operatic vocal samples, the glistening synths, and these disco-like passages on Karma a Bitch. The only problem is, if you hadn't guessed already, Lucki's vocals, his lack of bars, and souring the enjoyment once again. It's pretty much the equivalent of going to the skating rink, the disco beats are popping, and you got the guitar line, instrumentation's great, and as soon as the main act hits the stage, he falls asleep right on the mic. That's what it feels like when I hear this track. Can we wake him up, please? And then you get Pop Star, where he's talking about knockoffs, which is funny to me because throughout a majority of his career on this album and the last album, he has done a huge knockoff of a certain someone. And I guess you probably know, or can take a wild guess who I'm thinking of. And I'll give you a hint, the middle name is F, and it is for phenomenal, which this album is far from. But what I do find phenomenal is V's verse on Whole World Slat, that you got someone so underwhelming, so devoid of charisma, so devoid of personality, and with a flow so unexciting they make Gunna sound like Jid. That to me is phenomenal. And to add insult to injury, he has the absolute gall to say he's worse than Hitler. Thanks, Ye. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. And Baby Pluto has a nice glammy 80s rock sample throughout this. That again reminds me of Dipset, which honestly, listening more to this album, there is no reason we shouldn't have a fantastic Dipset comeback album. But instead, they're wasted on Lucky. Let's get another Dipset album. Instead of wasting this on someone who has not stepped it up lyrically, has not stepped it up flow-wise, could barely stay awake on a track, lyrically brings something to the table that we haven't heard already by any other cloud rap artist. And look, I'm not asking for Lucky to say something profoundly deep or Shakespearean or even Kendrick level or Jid level. No. But something clever, something with humor, something with wit at least, something that would make me chuckle, or maybe something that would make me cry, or something that would just give me energy or life. But unfortunately, this thing is not motivating. It's motivating me to go to sleep. That's what this thing is motivating me to do. So is this his best studio album? Yes, but not by much. Not by much at all. It's better than his last album, but his last album was throwaway. And a majority of this stuff on this album is throwaway. And even in the context of a cloud rap song, something melodic, you want something to sing along to. And this has nothing I want to sing along to, because nothing on here is catchy. I can't even remember a single hook that's on here. So yeah, this thing is so disappointing. I'm feeling a 1 heart out of 5 on this. But hey, just my opinion. And yeah, that's how I'm feeling. But if you've given this a listen, what did you think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why'd you hate it? Why'd you love it? Let me know. Caspa, Gothic Ghost, Lucky, Sex, Money, Drugs. Till we meet again.